Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Miguel went to Juvie during the events of Cobra Kai Season 3? So in this timeline, the school fight would still happen. Tori would still want to fight Sam in this timeline, but Robbie would get in the way and he would want to defend Sam. This is when Miguel would show up and he would see Robbie confronting Tori. Miguel would still be mad and he would attack Robbie, so the school fight would start growing. The Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do students would begin fighting, and the school fight would continue. Miguel and Robbie would still have their fight, and much like in the original timeline, Miguel would pin Robbie on the ground, and he would be ready to break Robbie's arm. But in this timeline, this is when the police would show up, and they would start detaining the students. An officer would arrive at the top of the stairs, and he would see Miguel pinning Robbie, so the officer would detain Miguel and Robbie, and the events of Cobra Kai would continue. The police would review the security cameras, and they would see that Tori started the fight, but that Miguel escalated the fight, so Miguel and Tori would be arrested. Tori would still get off from going to Juvie to take care of her mom and her brother, but Miguel wouldn't be so lucky, so Miguel would be sent to Juvie in this timeline. Carmen would be sad that Miguel was sent to Juvie, and she would be mad at Johnny. She would blame him for everything. And in Juvie, Miguel would be picked on by Sean and his friends, but unlike Robbie, Miguel would immediately fight back. He would strike first, and he would fight them off, so Miguel would fight Sean and his friends, and eventually he would earn Sean's respect. Johnny would feel responsible for Miguel, and he would want to visit him in Juvie. Miguel would be happy to see Johnny there. Johnny would continue to run Cobra Kai, but he wouldn't want his students to start fights. The students of the school fight would eventually come back to school after their suspension. Sam would apologize to Robbie for what she did, and in this timeline, Robbie would forgive Sam, so Sam and Robbie would stay together in this timeline. Daniel would temporarily shut down Miyagi-Do. Daniel would forgive Robbie, so Robbie would move back in with the LaRussos. Carmen would visit Miguel in Juvie, and Miguel would be happy to see her. Eventually, Miguel would be released from Juvie a lot sooner than Robbie did in the original timeline. Carmen would be happy that Miguel was home, but she wouldn't want Miguel to continue doing karate. But Miguel would say that it wasn't Cobra Kai or Johnny's fault, that it was his. He would say that karate's helped him, so Miguel would want to continue doing karate. And a few days would pass, and Miguel would go back to Cobra Kai. Johnny, Hawk, and a couple of the students would be happy to see Miguel. Johnny would be happy that Miguel was out of Juvie, so Miguel would rejoin Cobra Kai in this timeline, and the events of Season 3 would continue. Miguel would want to go visit Tori at her house, but Tori wouldn't want to see Miguel. Eventually, Chris would come back, and he would sue Johnny and retake Cobra Kai as his own. Johnny would be mad, so he would still form Eagle Fang in this timeline, and the majority of the Cobra Kai students would go with him. But Hawk would decide to stay in Cobra Kai. This would be his chance to be the next King Cobra. Miguel would feel betrayed, so Eagle Fang and Cobra Kai would have a rivalry. The events of Cobra Kai would continue. Miguel would start school at East Valley High, since he was expelled from West Valley. Miguel would make new friends at East Valley, and he would eventually start dating someone new. Carice would once again recruit Tori, so she would rejoin Cobra Kai. The rest of Season 3 would be pretty uneventful. Kenny would still be the new kid, and he would still be picked on by Anthony. And in this timeline, Kenny would go to Miguel, so Kenny would join Eagle Fang in this timeline, and he would be mentored by Miguel and Johnny. Miguel would eventually find out that Anthony was picking on Kenny, so he would go to Sam's house to try to talk to her, but Robbie would answer the door, and he wouldn't be happy to see Miguel. Miguel would say that he wasn't there to fight, but he would tell Robbie that Anthony was picking on Kenny, and he would want to resolve things between them, so Miguel would try to fix things between Kenny and Anthony. Anthony would agree to leave Kenny alone, and the rivalry between Robbie and Miguel would continue. Carice wouldn't get Terry Silver in this timeline. Eagle Fang and Cobra Kai would train for the All Valley, but in this timeline, Daniel wouldn't want to get Miyagi-Do involved. Johnny would still get Devin in this timeline, and the events of Season 4 would continue. Tournament would be very similar. Miguel would advance in his matches, and he would beat Hawk in the finals, so Miguel would be the boys All Valley champion. Tori and Devin would advance in their matches, and Tori would defeat Devin, so Tori would be the girls All Valley champion. Eagle Fang and Cobra Kai would continue to have their rivalry. Season 5 would be pretty uneventful, and that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Miguel went to Juvie during the events of Cobra Kai Season 3? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.